ScouterStan. Want to talk about the elections, the Order of the Arrow elections. This is one of those wonderful times of year that we actually go to units and get candidates for the ordeal. This is a huge thing for the life of a lot of scouts. This is a gigantic thing. Now, this election is for troops, crews, and ships. And we'll get more into the requirements, but the Inductions Team, otherwise known as the Elections Team, is part of your chapter. Your Order of the Arrow chapter from your lodge has an Inductions Team. Now, units need to contact this team or your chapter's representatives so that you can arrange a time for the election. Typically, the elections are done at the unit, wherever they're meeting. So this contact needs to be done within youth protection. Of course, the two-deep leadership has to be kept up. So if you send an email or a text, you have to include another adult in that. You have to CC them in that communication, so that the two-deep leadership is maintained on all contacts. An easy way to get a hold of your chapter would be at their chapter meeting. A lot of chapters of the lodge will actually meet at the round table or other activities during the month. At least once a month, they'll have a meeting. And one of the most important things is whether you have candidates that are eligible or not, you need to contact this team. They will have a list of all the units in your district. And if they see that they have no contact from them, they will think that they didn't do it right, that they messed up somehow. So it's important that units contact the Order of the Arrows induction team for their chapter. Now, the requirements for a youth candidate is that the scout must be a youth registered member of Scouts BSA troop or a venture crew or a Sea Scout ship. They must also have 15 nights of camping. Now, 1 week of that, 5 total nights, can be at summer camp. And that can be long-term, that can be included in the 15. Most scouts should have this camping requirement just by doing stuff with the troop or the crew or the ship. There are minimum rank requirements also. For Scouts BSA Troop, this is the first class rank. Venture Crews is the Discovery Award. Sea Scout Ships, this would be the ordinary rank. One of the most important requirements is that the unit leader must give their approval to be a candidate. Now, once all of those requirements are met, the elections team, otherwise known as the inductions team, they will go about the process of doing the election. The inductions team will also have forms for adult nominations. The unit committee will complete the forms and get all the required signatures. And of course, there's instructions with that paperwork. The OA chapter inductions team will arrive at the agreed time and place for the election. They should have a unit election file with all of the required paperwork. This would have all the forms and ballots and everything in it. But in some parts of the United States, this is done electronically through Scoutbook or other software. Please plan on reviewing time and filling out the paperwork time. Don't be caught up in other meetings and other things. You want to dedicate some time with the inductions team to go through that process before the election starts. Now, a lot of times the induction team will actually show a short video that'll give the scouts more information and get them excited about the actual Order of the Arrow. Right after the video, of course, they hand out the ballots and they do the voting. The ballots are then handed back to the members of the induction team for tabulation. Now, depending on the area, the results might be revealed or announced at the meeting, or it could be retained and announced at a ceremony as part of a council or district camporee known as a call out. In the past, when I was a scout, this was known as a tap out ceremony. Now, elected candidates are informed about the ordeal process and encouraged to attend their chapter's event. It is possible if the schedule doesn't make it, that they can do their ordeal with another chapter. After the ordeal, the new OA chapter brother is required to give service to their unit for a period of time. After that, they are encouraged to complete their membership by doing the brotherhood. All Scout units should encourage their ordeal OA members to complete their membership process with brotherhood. There can be a huge gap between ordeal and brotherhood. That's totally fine, but they should finish their membership process by just going through the brotherhood process. Remind ordeal members that they never have to do the ordeal again. It's a one-time thing. And I know you do great work for your scouts, and I encourage you to get involved with this program. This is how we retain older scouts. The Order of the Arrow is a wonderful organization with multiple different programs out there that will retain the interest of your older scouts. And keep up that good work. I know you work so hard, and keep that up. Our youth need scouting, and it's very important. Thank you so much for what you do, and I will see you on the trail.